Hello everyone! I put out some of my sketchbooks here because today I want to share some tips on how to fill your sketchbook. For me, it's such an amazing feeling to finish a sketchbook, to collect them, flip through them, and see how my art is improving. But sometimes it can be hard to come up with ideas, especially when you like to fill every inch of your sketchbook and leave no blank spaces like I try to do with my sketchbooks. I want to share some tips that help me personally to achieve this look. This video will be separated into two parts. The first part will be about practical tips and ideas on what to draw, and the second part will be mindset tips that could help you to keep having fun drawing and not to get frustrated or stuck on empty pages. Disclaimer beforehand, sketchbooks don't need to look like this. I don't want to tell anyone that sketchbooks have to be filled, finished, and polished. My sketchbooks are also rather art books by definition. I do my finished art in these. I don't have anything else that I do finished art on. And I also have a real sketchbook that's just filled with quick ideas, thumbnails, and empty spaces, and is much more a traditional sketchbook. And if your sketchbook has unfinished artwork, sketches, empty pages, or isn't finished at all, that's totally cool. Art is about play, fun, and creation, so whatever makes you have fun is wonderful. So just take from this video what seems helpful to you personally. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Tip number 1: do colorful studies. I know studies can be lame, but they don't have to. They have many uses. Of course, they train your artistic skills, but it's also an easy way to fill page after page after page. Because you don't really need to think about what you want to draw other than choosing a single topic that you want to study. Especially anatomy studies are great for this. Just search up a bunch of references and study them. Here's an example of my recent sketchbook. Right now I want to study hands, so I filled a page with hands. And now you can also see what I mean by colorful studies. I like color, and I like to use color a lot in my sketchbooks. And just these studies themselves are fine, but after adding a colorful background, they pop out so much more, and the page has a finished feeling, even though these are essentially just sketches. Doing studies like this is a win-win situation in my opinion. You can fill a lot of space with these and expand your skills. Tip number 2: Doodle Pages. If you've seen my sketchbook tour videos, you already know what this is about. Doodle Pages are about exploration and play without any pressure. I love doing these when I want to do art, but I can't come up with anything that I want to draw. So I just grab any pen, any color, and put it on the page. Make it look weird or childish on purpose, choose colors you don't usually choose, explore combination of shape, texture, and media. For me, this is also a great stress relief, almost like a meditation. I switch my mind off and put colors on. I might make a video going more into depth about Doodle Pages, because there are so many great benefits of it, and I could go on and on about these. Tip number 3: art challenges and prompts. There are many ways you can utilize this. Just type in art challenge on Instagram, Pinterest, etc., and you will find a whole bunch of things to try out. Some examples are 3 color challenges, 3 marker challenges, draw this in your styles, those OC generators where you hit pause on a video and use whatever you landed on for the design. A fun thing I like to do is to find some prompt lists and use a random number generator to combine prompts from separate lists. It will give you a nice guideline to go by, but still give you a lot of creative freedom to create something fun. Tip number 4: put some colors down. Sometimes the blank page of a sketchbook is scary, and it's hard to start somewhere out of nowhere. So I like to put down some color beforehand. There are multiple ways you can do this. For example, you could glue in some colored paper. I have a bunch of this, and you can get it for pretty cheap at dollar stores, but you could also use anything you have at hand. It also gives the page some nice structure already. Or you could also just put down some paint blobs with markers, watercolors, gouache, whatever you have on hand. And then you can easily draw over it or draw some shapes you see in the blobs that you created and create something interesting. Once that empty page is broken in, it's way easier to start drawing on it. And the last tip for this section, tip number 5, use Pinterest. I know this always comes up in videos like this one because it's just so efficient. Open Pinterest and draw what you see. It's nice when you don't know what to draw, but you want to draw something rather than just doing a doodle page. I especially like to do color-coded stuff, like I search for only green things and fill a page with these. Or draw anything, even if it's not green, but turn it green anyways. It's versatile because you can do these in any medium that you want to use in that moment. You can draw a theme, keep a color palette, and somewhat create a Pinterest board in your own sketchbook. Okay, so now we will get into the next section, the mindset tips. It's important to check on your feelings on art and creation and see where the block may stem from if you suffer from art block. No tip and no idea will help you efficiently when you are blocked or scared to create. Again, these are things that help me, but we humans are also different. So these may not apply to you, and again, just take from this video what works for you. So, tip number 1, draw what you want to draw. Social media is a tricky place nowadays. It's hard to be recognized, and it's easy to fall into a trap of performing for an audience to draw what works best and pushes numbers. Even outside of social media, there can be great pressure. For example, that art teacher we all had that said that anime isn't real art. This could lead to art becoming a chore to do, which makes it less fun and keeps you from freely creating. So please draw what you want. Just ask yourself what makes you happier. Some numbers on social media or looking at your art that you thoroughly enjoyed to create and really enjoy looking at. Of course, it's easier said than done, especially when you earn your money with art and have to draw what others want. But even then, take time for yourself regularly to draw what pleases you. Maybe even for no one else to see, but only yourself. And if you share this art, eventually the people who like your art will find you. I used to only draw anime girls all the time, only anime girls. Not even in comics or anything, just pin-up poses and the same expression over and over again. And this in itself isn't wrong, but I did it because I thought that this is what I had to do to perform well on Instagram. And this led to the biggest art block I ever had. For more than a year, I hated my art so much. Eventually, I deleted Instagram for a long while, and for the first time ever, I drew what I wanted to draw, and I had a huge glow up, not in skill, but in fun. Because I stopped limiting myself to drawing only anime girls, I drew a lot more. I tried landscapes, I tried to draw a lot more animals, I did abstract art, my doodle pages, for example. Funny thing is, people like my art more now that I do what I want because it reflects my love for art way more than my performance drawings ever did. And I draw so much more because I'm not limiting myself anymore. Tip number 2, mess up and be okay with it. We all know this. We open our new sketchbook and want to create an amazing artwork. So we take our pencil and start doing nothing but staring at the page with rising anxiety levels. The fear of messing things up just blocks the flow of art. Let me explain this with the example of roller skating. When you learn to roller skate, the first thing you want to learn is how to fall correctly. When you know how to fall safely, it feels less scary. You don't feel as blocked and you know what to do when you have the feeling you're about to fall and fail. And then you start skating and you will fall and it will still hurt, but once you've fallen once or twice, you know what it's like and you can keep going and you're not too afraid to even start skating. And it's quite the same with art. When you know how to deal with messing up, it will become a lot easier to skate around your sketchbook. But how do you mess up? First off, be okay with it. A messed up page is just that, a messed up page. You can turn the page over and start again. You can learn from your mistakes, look at the drawing and analyze why you don't like it, but you need to be specific about it and constructive. Saying, oh, I don't like the drawing because it looks bad, that won't help you. It takes some practice, but knowing your mistakes will help you greatly. For example, you notice you used the wrong colors. Now you know what you did wrong and what other colors to use, and that the color that you did use was just wrong. Turn the page, apply what you've learned, and ta-da! It's easier now. Messed up pages show your progress. They show your humanity. They show what you don't want to guide you to where you want to be. And also, the nice drawings will look even nicer next to it. But sometimes you really, really, really dislike a drawing and no amount of analyzing will help. What do you do then? You can just glue it over. You can put some colorful paper over it or just glue the pages together and just start over. And this is also kind of the gist of this tip. Keep in mind that you can always start over and try again. Tip number 3. Keep a separate sketchbook. This tip is especially for people who like to put finished artwork into their sketchbooks like I do. It can be pretty hard to come up with an idea and execute it immediately onto the page. It's easier to plan out a drawing beforehand, like deciding on a pose for a character, thinking of design choices, or even the layout. For that, I like to use my sketchbook. I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. This is the sketchbook I use for exploring ideas without the pressure of it looking nice or aesthetically pleasing. I try out color palettes or do thumbnails, and I never show this sketchbook to anyone really. It's not for showing because it's just for ideas to create the things that I want to show. This helps me not to get stuck on a page without a plan or a direction to go by. And it doesn't need to look good or right or whatever because no one is going to see it anyways. You don't even need a sketchbook for this. You could also just use scrap pieces of paper that you throw away or do digitally, whatever you like. So, these are all the tips I have for you for now. It turned out longer than I expected. But I hope this video helped you and that you're able to apply some of these for your own sketchbook. I would also greatly appreciate if you share some of your own tips in the comments if you'd like to. I love to learn new things to try out and maybe others will use them too. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you have a great day and bye!